When this old world starts getting me down and people are just too much for me to face, up on the roof I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space, up on the roof, up on the roof. Today we read that when you build a new home, you need to make sure you make a guardrail around your roof. Obviously, because if someone goes up on the roof, you want to make sure that they don't fall off. Psychologically speaking, of course, the roof being the highest point of any structure alludes to the ego, meaning that the person can have a very elevated impression of themselves. So you need to build a guardrail to make sure you don't drift into selfishness, to tame the ego. A great concept, but practically speaking, how do you do this? Taming the ego can be as difficult as trying to think about nothing. The harder you try, the further you can get from your goal. In fact, if you're trying to fight your ego all the time, that can actually be all about you. So in the world of Torah Judaism, we have a concept called a mitzvah, which many people interpret as a good deed. But it's a good deed that comes from a higher power. We are instructed what the good deeds are to be done. And we do them not because we decide, but because it comes from a higher power. Sounds very simple, and yet it's very, very profound. Ultimately, our purpose here is to serve a higher power and to serve others. And then it's not about us. The mitzvah becomes a connection that transcends the ego and is not about the ego. This, of course, is true of any faith, that if you can connect with something higher than the self, then that's a wonderful way to tame your own ego. You don't focus on yourself, but focus on your purpose. Make sure to make a guardrail around your roof.